Hey, Tommy, what's on your mind this morning?
Well, Kevin, imagine this. It rains all night, you get up in the morning, you get down in the kitchen, you're going to make yourself a cup of coffee.
I'm with you.
For some reason, you look up in the ceiling, and the paint is filled with water with a big blister.
Ooh, sounds like it's time to fix the roof.
Well, that's what the homeowners did. They hired a roofer to fix the roof, but it still leaks. So I'm going to go over there and show them how to fix the roof the right way.
All right.
Later on in the loft, I'm going to show you a real simple way to fix a pinhole leak in a rubber roof.
Sounds like some good lessons. We'll check back in with you.
Okay.
Well, good morning. I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to Ask This Old House, where if you've got a question about your house, we'd love to hear from you. And you never know, we might send Tom Silva up onto your roof, Roger Cook out into your yard, or Richard. What is going on back here?
They told me to get Richard cleaned up.
Cleaned up? For what? Where are you going?
Going to Indianapolis.
He said he's going to Indianapolis.
Why are you going to Indianapolis?
Install the water.
Install a water filter.
Why do you have a helmet on to install a water filter?
I'm going to the brickyard.
Says he's going to the brickyard. I could have got you bricks.
No. The Indianapolis 500.
Oh, he's going to the Indianapolis 500. That's why we got to get him cleaned up.
Today we're working in the Hoosier State, Indianapolis, Indiana. Every May, this place comes alive with the sound of race car engines at the Indy 500. And the only thing better than seeing the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is to race it. Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
Tell you, I got pulled over.
Really?
Yeah, speeding. Couldn't help myself. What have we here?
This is my hot sauce collection from a few years in the Marine Corps.
I guess so. You got them from everywhere. You're a big fan, huh?
Absolutely love them.
How about you, Amber? Do you like hot sauce?
No, but we do have a cat named Tabasco.
Perfectly named. Well, after some hot sauce, I suppose a glass of water is in order.
Absolutely, but our water quality here is not so good. We got a lot of chlorine smell, rust in the laundry, and sediment in the bathrooms.
Doesn't sound too good.
And our water tastes so bad that we have to drink bottled water.
All right, we're going to put in a filter today. Now, we have two choices. One is a point-of-use filter, and that would be a separate spigot right here. We put the unit under the sink. But we're going to put in a whole house filter. All right, guys, this is a whole house filter. Cold water comes in from the city water supply right here, comes down into this canister that's clear. Now, inside, we're going to put one of these two filter cartridges. This one removes dirt and rust, and it's pleated. This one removes dirt, rust, and chlorine. This is probably a good choice for you guys because you complained about that chlorine taste.
Absolutely.
All right, so the cartridge goes down inside this filter, and now the cold water comes through it, gets filtered, and goes back into the building right here. Now, for your job, the best place to turn the water off is out in the street. Out by the street, there's a meter pit, and down inside, there's 2 meters, one for this house and one for the neighbor's house. It also has a shower valve called a curb cock. Just have to turn that off. Okay, good. Now here in the corner of the garage is your mechanical room, and this is where the cold water main comes in from that meter pit outside. It's a perfect location to put our whole house filter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this piping so I end up with a shutoff valve on each side of the whole house filter.
Why is that?
Well, actually, to make it easier for you guys, if we have 2 shutoff valves, you can change that cartridge without any water dripping out. All right, now that's the inlet where the water comes in, and this is the outlet. Let me show you the type of fittings we're using today, something new for us. This is a solderless connection. If you look down inside there, you'll see that there's a black O-ring, and then just above it are these stainless steel teeth. And this is a push fitting. If we push that pipe down into the fitting by 1 inch, you can see the mark right here. What happens is those teeth bite into the outside of that pipe and hold it tight, and the O-ring makes the watertight seal. No soldering. All right, I've mounted a piece of plywood between these 2 studs, and that gives me a perfect base to mount this bracket. Don, just throw me that filter, would you? All right, and this is going to mount like so. Okay, that does it for our outlet connection. I've already put some Teflon tape, and that's tight. Now, on the other side, you can see that this is a 1-inch thread, and so we've got an adapter to take us from 1 inch down to 3/4. And that already has its Teflon applied, because the pipe size that we have in your house is 3/4. I still need some Teflon tape, Amber, to be applied to those threads right here. Just take that tape and just sort of go right around it. Hold it with your finger, good, and pull it tight as you're going around. Pull on it so it's tight. Most important is the last 3 threads out at the end. Get near the end, one more around. Now you want to pull it tight. When you're ready, just pull it tight so it breaks. Good. All right, let me just thread that in. Okay, I just need to hold back with a second wrench, like so. Okay, that should do it. Good. Let's see how we fit. All right, now you remember we've got the water off and I've opened the faucets inside. Now I'd like you to take that hacksaw to cut right there in the back side of the elbow and right up there. Go ahead. Careful, don't kink the blade. And that'll give us a chance to start piping to our new filter. Isn't it great dripping down your arm too? Probably gave you that job. There you go. One down. This might be easier. With the emery cloth, just clean up both of those pipes for the first inch or so. Don, try it like a shoe shine rag from the bottom. The reason we're cleaning these pipes is so there's a clean surface for that O-ring to seal against. See how that looks? Yeah, try the bottom now. All right, we have our filter mounted onto the bracket, and now we can start making our connections. So we start with our supply pipe coming from the street. We have a coupling. I want to push that on all the way to 1 inch deep. Now I always put witness marks right here to be sure the fitting goes all the way in. That's 1 inch. Now I push it. Now I need this bottom piece. There's one. Good, made. All right, so here's our connection coming in from the street through the shutoff valve into our filter. Now what I'd like you to do is to make the connections from the filter back into the house.
Okay.
All right, so here's our coupling that goes straight on. Push it till it bottoms out all the way. Good. All right, on the next piece, we have another shutoff valve, a ball valve, and that actually has the push connections on both sides, so I can just push that together. Made. All right, now you're going to make this connection. Make sure it goes right up on all the way to the witness marks. Good. Now, can you make that last one? Push it in. All the way in. Come on. All right, is that in?
Yes.
Okay, so just shut off that shutoff valve right there. I'll shut that one off. Any house has a ground wire which connects from the electrical panel to the water meter. Once we've added this filter, there's a break in this circuit, so I've added a jumper between the house side of the filter and the water meter side to be sure the ground stays intact. So now it's time to turn the water back on. Okay. All right, guys, moment of truth. Amber, I want you to put on that supply valve. Straight up. Okay, here's the water into the chamber. No leaks so far. Okay, now open up the right-hand one that goes into the house. There you go. Now there's a wrench that comes with it, and that's designed to be able to change that cartridge every 2 or 3 months. Make sure you turn the water off. And you guys have clean water.
All right. Well, thank you, Richard.
All right, enjoy. Thanks, Amber.
Thank you.
I gotta be motoring.
No speeding.
All right, thanks.
So I think that's the first time I've seen you use one of these quick connects.
It actually was the first time I ever did it, and I don't think I would do it for a whole house.
Why not? Something wrong with them?
Well, I know how to solder, and also these fittings are about $5 a piece. You've got hundreds of fittings in the house.
Right.
But in an application like that, or for somebody who doesn't know how to solder, they're afraid to burn the house down with a torch, or you need just 2 or 3 connections. I think it makes good sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the report back from the homeowners?
Very good. This is the cartridge as it first went in. What I did is I asked it to send it to us after about a week. This is the cartridge 1 week later, doing its job.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Isn't that something? So this is all the stuff they're not drinking right now on the outside of it, and still good for about 2 or 3 more months.
So of course they're happy.
Absolutely.
Nice job, Richard.
All right, guys, here we go. It's a metal pole. On top of the metal pole is a ball. The metal pole is telescopic.
Oh, that's cool.
On the bottom of the pole is a magnet.
It's got everything.
One more thing. There's 2 of them. What is it?
Okay.
I know.
Do you?
I do. I've
Take
seen
it
these
away.
before. What do you do if you have a budding percussionist in the house? Maybe a future Xavier Cugat.
Who's Kugat?
Oh, he was a famous tambourinist.
That tambourinist? No. He's a famed marimbist. Played the marimba, but you could use this to practice your xylophone, your vibraphone, or even the glockenspiel.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know what you said.
I don't know.
Obviously, you don't.
Fellas, all wrong. All right. I don't know if you've been paying attention or not, but DTV is coming.
Kevin, I got news for you. Digital TV is already here.
Oh, you've been watching. Well, pretty soon your old TV's not going to work, and there are a couple ways to fix it. You can get satellite, you can get cable, you get a coupon for a box, or you can just use these DTV rabbit ears.
Really
Huh?
attractive kind of way, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, this is the solution.
They work well?
Yeah, you don't know either, so move the TV. You guys are really bad. Yeah, you're an expert, all right. Have you ever tried to back your vehicle up to a trailer?
All the time, Tom. 8 to 10 times I'm in and out of the truck trying to back up to the stupid trailer.
Oh, yeah, it's the trailer that's stupid.
Or you take one of these and you put it on the trailer itself and you adjust the height as needed.
So you can see it through the back window.
Right. You put the other one on your trailer hitch and you adjust that height so it lines up with the one on the trailer. Now, as you back up, you watch the ball through the back window, and when the two balls meet like that, you're lined up below.
No more dented bumpers.
Boy, that's a great idea. These are coming home with me, baby.
Hey, Tom, this is the flat roof above our kitchen I wrote you about. One day after a big rainstorm, we came down, and there was a big bubble of water hanging from the ceiling.
Really? What did you do about it?
We popped it.
Did you get wet?
We did. And then we called some guys who came and put a patch on it.
Patch right here. What is this? This looks like remnants from an old ladder or something.
Yeah, there used to be a fire escape coming down here.
There's some holes right here. Water can definitely be getting in there and getting in over here. You know, when patching a rubber roof, you want to make sure you use something that's compatible with the rubber. This product right here is not sticking very well. You also want to make sure it's not a petroleum base like tar because it can deteriorate the rubber.
So what are we going to do?
Well, we're going to cut this section out right here, remove the remnants of the ladder, and patch it correctly. All right, Lauren, what I want you to do with the utility knife is cut this section of the roof right open so we can get to the metal part of the ladder and remove it.
Okay.
Push down hard, cut right through everything. You have to cut it a couple of times. Come all the way over to about here.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now go down the other end and cut a hole down there. Let's see what we got here. All right, I can feel part of the bracket right here that's holding the ladder. So cut right along here.
Okay.
A couple of times. Great, that's a good job. All right, let me take that knife for a minute. I'm going to try peeling back this corner right here. And let's see what we uncover. Here we go. Oh, look at that. There's the bracket. That wasn't even screwed down. Oh, I got some... Oh, okay. All right. With our brackets out, there's nothing penetrating the roof, and now we're going to patch the substrate. Typically, under a rubber roof, you find this substrate right here.
What's that made out of?
Well, here's the piece right here. It's actually a high-density fiberboard, and when it goes under the rubber roof, it's designed to give the rubber some give in case a branch or something should fall on it. And it's held down with these screws and washers. So the first thing we want to do is remove the two screws and washers here so we can cut out this damaged piece. Look at that, the fiberboard is all wet right there. So we know it was leaking there. Okay, now we'll clean that all out. Okay, now let me get a measurement. So on this end I've got 7 3/4, 21 1/8, 8 1/2. Now you see I'm going to cut my piece of substrate on top of another piece of substrate so I don't cut through. All right, now I have my 7 3/4, my 8 1/2 down here. I'm going to follow the square with my knife, cutting my width. A couple of passes, then I can just break the piece off. Okay, now I need to square up the ends. All right, let's see how it fits. Pretty good. All right, let's put a couple of screws in it. One right there. Nice and tight. That's good. It's good. And one over here. Here's a piece of rubber roof that I bought at a roofing and siding supply yard. Now I'm going to patch the roof and cover the substrate with the rubber. But if you notice, there's a little depression right there. To fill that depression, I'm going to use 2 pieces of scrap rubber to bring the roof up even. So now when I patch over it, it's level. Now I'm going to cut my rubber roof to length, and again I'm going to use a piece of fiberboard underneath while I make my cut to protect the roof below. Okay. All right, now let me position the piece of rubber over our patch to where I want it to be. I'm going to mark an X on the up, and then I'm going to have you trace right around the perimeter, put in a line on top of the old rubber roof. All right, that's great. All right, now grab that end. We just take this patch, flip it right over, All right, like that. Now, next thing I want to do is I want to clean both surfaces, the top of this roof and the underside of the patch, with a membrane cleaner. Using a membrane cleaner to really clean the rubber well, so when we put the contact cement on it, it will stick to a real clean surface. All right, Lauren, you hold the patch back, and I'll apply the rubber-to-rubber cement on the roof and half of the patch.
How long does it take to dry?
Well, depends on the weather, but usually about 5 minutes. That's it on the roof. All right, now we're ready to do the underside of the patch. Put my toe on it so it doesn't move. All right, we'll give it a couple of minutes to dry, and then we'll apply the patch to the roof. With the adhesive dry, we're going to roll our patch over the hole. So just take a couple of fingers, touch it like that, and slide it right over. Okay, and just work it out nice and easy. We don't want to stretch the patch at all. Okay, now we're going to take this corner and roll it right back. Now we'll do the other half. All right, now that the piece is down nice and tight, take the lap sealant and put a nice bead right around the edge. Put it about an edge, just like that. Nice. Keep the tip right up against the edge of the patch. You can almost feel it. And if there's a bubble, fill it back in. Fill that right in. Squeeze it. There you go.
How'd we do?
All right, you have a new substrate, a new patch, and no more leaks.
Well, Tommy, thanks so much.
It was my pleasure.
Tom, that was a pretty neat trick, folding the piece in half to make it easier to work with.
Well, there's a reason for that, Roger. If I was to put the contact cement on the piece somewhere else and bring it over, the piece could fold on itself and stick together, and I wouldn't get it unstuck. So by folding it in place, the piece is lined up over the patch, so when I stick it on, it's not going to move.
Beautiful.
Now, is this the same sort of contact cement we use for laminate countertops?
Just about, yeah. So it's dry to the touch. It's a glue-to-glue
There's a reason
contact.
they call it contact
Yeah,
cement.
you only have one chance. So when I glue it here, I lay it down, I take it back, glue it here, and lay it down.
Yeah.
You don't get a second chance.
Now, I noticed that you said to let the glue dry. What happens if you don't?
Well, if the glue is not dry, it won't stick. You could get a bubble under it. Some parts may stick, but most of it won't stick.
I tell you, that leak was easy to find. I mean, look at it. It was easy to identify. Some of them aren't that easy.
Right. It only takes a pinhole for the roof to leak.
Now, if you had a small hole, you have to fix it the same way?
Well, you got to go find a piece of rubber. You can buy a piece, or sometimes you can just use a bicycle patch.
A bicycle patch?
Right. Just treat it just like a bicycle. I mean, it's a rubber tube, right? You clean it just like you would patching a hole in your bicycle. Go like that. Now, in this case, it's a rubber cement or contact cement, but you only put it on one piece. Spread it around. Make sure that it's dry. It's got to dry.
How long would you let it sit?
Well, it depends on the air, how the sun, and how hot it is, and everything else. Peel off one piece. Again, position one side only. Peel off the other side. There you go.
Not bad.
Nice little fix.
Roof's not going to leak now.
This tip comes to us from Darlin, who lives in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, and he suggests that you can actually cut PVC pipe with a string.
You know, crazy me. I've been using the PVC saw all these years. But I actually tried it. It works. Take some mason line right here, some string, and you can put it on 2 screwdrivers or just on your hands like this. And now I'm going to do short strokes to start.
Starting seems to be the tough part.
There it is.
I can smell it. Is it the heat that's
You're
cutting through
actually,
it?
yeah, you're just heating up. The friction is making the PVC. Just see the smoke coming out?
Yeah.
Almost there.
Just about. Oh, there it goes. Hey, guys, what do you think of that?
That's pretty sharp.
For a string.
All right, well, darling, you just earned yourself a T-shirt. And if you've got a tip for us or a question about your house, we'd love to hear from you, so drop us a line. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
I'm Roger Cook.
I'm Tom Silva.
And I'm Richard Thuy.
For Ask This Old House.
Tommy, you don't need a saw anymore. Here's your string.
If you have a question about your house or a tip you'd like to share, please let us know. Visit our website, pbs.org, for expert advice, step-by-step videos, and much more. Next time on Ask This Old House, Tommy is all jacked up about this deck, and the guys ask, what is it?
Stick your fingers in there, and all of a sudden you take yourself a can of spray paint.
Just a quick layer.
That's next time on Ask This Old House.